Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good freaking morning to you. Happy Tuesday. Man, Brian Brooks' parting remarks. Interesting stuff. What a smart guy. What a cool dude. And the best XRP play ever. We're going to get into that as well. Jungle Inc. Boy, he made a very, very interesting move. And I thought it was really epic in a lot of ways. So we're going to get into that as well. Whoa. So the market is doing what the market does. I did get some of that XRP last night, better than $3-4. You got to get on that when you can. Better than $3-4. Yeah, so I did do that. I did not do the gains that I've made on ETH and Uni and Link and what is Cell token. I didn't do that. I took that dirty, nasty fiat and got me some more of that XRP. But yeah, interesting move. But I'm not up as much on ETH as Jungle was, which was one of the reasons why I didn't do it. But I personally would rather take my dirty, nasty fiat and put it in the XRP than to take another asset and put it in XRP. But that's just me personally. Right? That was kind of my choice, and again, I hadn't doubled my ETH like Jungle did. I personally think that Jungle's move, all things considered, was epic. Like epic. Are you kidding me? Epic. Yeah, I think it's epic. You know, if he's in a position where he doubled, he said he doubled his ETH, right? He bought some Link, bought some Chainlink, bought some ETH, doubled the ETH. Right? I don't know if he took the whole ETH and put it in the XRP or if he just took his winnings and put it in. And either way, epic move. Epic move. Think about that, 50-something thousand XRP. Yeah, absolutely massive. Shout out to Jungle Inc. For being in a position, right? He was in a position to take advantage of that. And I say kudos to him, you know? Absolutely. Kudos to him for that. But ultimately, you know, that's going to be the move in the space. The move in the space is going to be, you know, for me in the crypto season, so I'm not telling you guys what to do with your money, what to do with your assets, is taking the gains from those movers that moved first ahead of XRP, right? And then putting those winnings into XRP. To me, that is ultimately what, you know, that's what we're going to do, right? And it's just how much of it, those winnings and those alts, are we going to put in XRP? It's just how much, really. Ultimately, that is going to be the deal. And then we'll do CDPs, collateralized debt positions, depending upon what happens, right? So that's kind of what we're planning. So yeah, Eric Serrano, Jungle Inc. killed it. Indeed, he did, my friend. He really did. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you in the stream. So we're going to talk about Brian Brooks' parting remarks he shared on Twitter. I thought those were really fascinating, to say the least. Fascinating. But let's look at what the market's got going on right now before we get into it. So Bitcoin's at 37,500 on the 7-day. It's up 5%. Ethereum is at 1,424 on the 7-day. It's up 30%, right? So, you know, we'll be looking at the ETH. We'll be taking a certain little small portion out of that and putting it in some other alt, maybe Algo, maybe Polkadot, right? It's free money, right? In a way, right? So maybe Polkadot, I don't know. it's hard to put it into something that's that's up 100% in 7 days. Yeah, it's yeah, you know, so maybe you just take the ETH out, you put it in something like USDC, and you wait for some pullbacks on Polkadot and Link. Maybe that's a better move, or Cardano, right? Wait for the pullbacks, and then, but you take the gains, right? So, you know, for me, take the gains, put it into the stable coin thing, right? Boom, boom. And wait for some of these things to cool down, right? Polkadot cool down. I mean, it's up 100% in 7 days. Link cool down. We have Link, right? Algo is doing its thing right now. Whoa, Algo is really doing some stuff, right? VeChain's 22% on the 7 day. I'm just blown away by that. And maybe strengthen our position on Celsius, add to our position, because that is that's down, right? So that would be one to take some of the gains from Uniswap, some of the gains from, I mean, 73% on 7 days for a freaking Uniswap, right? 73%, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know. I might take all the Uni. Right? Just take all the Uni and put it into Cell. So we'll see. So that's kind of the numbers there. Bitcoin's 37.5, Ethereum 1424, Polkadot's is $16.55. It's up 100% on 7 days. XRP is up 5% on the 7 days at 30.6 cents. It was as high as 32 cents. So Cardano's at 30, is that 38 cents? 38 cents. It's up 37% on the 7 day. This is just, for me, it's just a taste. This is like a little sniff of what the bull run, what the bull run's going to be. Litecoin is at $161. It's up 15% on the 7 day. Bitcoin Cash, $539, 12% on the, remember, Bitcoin Cash was just $300, right? So Chainlink is up 49% on the 7 day, right? Again, 10% maybe, 20% maybe. Take it out, take that little profit, and wait for another buying opportunity there. Stella's at 31.5 cents. It's up 15% on the 7 day. And Binance Coin is at $44. It's up 15% on the 7 day. So those are kind of the numbers, guys, just to kind of give you a heads up of what's going on. What is going on, Trey Hauser? Good to see you, bro. Jimmy Hernandez is in the building. What's up, Jimmy? Baby Wavy, what's going on with XRP? It's all good as far as I'm concerned. As far as the Crypto Sieges home is concerned, XRP is all good. Traditionally, historically, since 2013's bull run, XRP has been the laggard. It has been the last one, right? It's been the last one to do its thing. Historically, last one to do its thing. We're going to talk a little bit about Alex Mashinsky and his wife, Chrissy, and a website called usastrong.io, which it supports, it promotes investing and promoting businesses in the good old US of A. And I've always said, since I was in the military, I've always said that when I get the chance to do that, to support, right, US of A businesses, I would do that. So can't do it in the cars yet. I don't, there's not anyone in the US that I like, right? Can't do it there. Maybe the Corvette, maybe. I did, you know, I was on the Ford Explorers for a while, but, you know, this is a chance to do that. So for me, getting t-shirts for 18, 20 bucks, I bought me and Mr. Crypto Siege some stuff to support USA, made in America, manufactured in the good old US of A stuff. And I'll share that video with you guys as well. Jamie M is in the building. How are you, Jamie? Coco Crypto is in the building. Lady of Crypto. Good lady of Crypto. Good to see you, Coco. Legendary is here. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. RV Glover's in the building. Morning. How are you, dude? Crypto_JS Morning to you. San Antonio is in the building. I love it. Black Impact, what's good, bro? Salute to you and yours as well, brother. Good to see you. Eric Saran, I said hey to you earlier, but you're right. Jungle did kill it. XRP Magnificent. What's good with you, bro? And by the way, I apologize. I did not answer your question on Twitter. My answer to Flare Networks is if that does happen, it doesn't work out. I believe that someone else will come and build on a ledger and learn from the mistakes, if that happens again, of Flare Networks, and do a bigger and better thing. I believe that's the world of technology, and I don't think that if that were to happen to Flare for some odd, crazy, strange reason, it doesn't change the ledger. It doesn't change the value in the ledger. It doesn't change the value in XRP. So someone will come, and obviously that's the genius. That's the great thing about the technology. People come and learn and improve upon it, right? Michael Cummings, what's going on with you, bro? Good to see you. Black Impact says, I put my XRP and synthetics on Celsius Network. Yeah, there you go, bro. Earning some money on your money. 16% on that synthetics, bro. I hear you. And by the way, I do have my Unbank Yourself t-shirt on. You guys can't see it, but I do have it on there. Unbank Yourself. Boy, I get excited about that every single day when I think about we're in a position to do that. What's going on, Jay Korn? Good to see you. Rafi Bohonjin. Good morning to you. More big gains coming for the alt, says Legendary. I hope you're right, man. You know, we got to check. We always got to pay attention to the Bitcoin dominance. I mean, that's the signal that says, yep, the alt season is here, right? So, I mean, Bitcoin dominance right now is still at 64%, right? Still at 64%. So the alt season hasn't happened yet, but we're getting, we're tippy toeing in it. We're right on the edge of it, right? Terrence Rafford, good to see you, my friend. FXRP and YFLR will be huge. Only a select few even claim the spark. E-fees are way too high. They really are. I was in a chat with Darren Moore. Shout out to XRP Darren. Dude said he paid over $400 in fees in a week. $400 in fees in 1 week. That is brutal. That is brutal. Yeah, they have yet to figure out ETH 2. Yeah. Yep, I agree. That's really, I'm really liking what Polkadot has kind of going on. But I want to be in a position to at least 8 to 10 exit right now. I'm not sure, $16. So we'll have to see if there's a pullback. Richard France, good to see you, bro. Crypto Siege, I just sold some XRP and bought some GSX from the Apollo thing. Okay. Do you think this was a good idea? I can't tell you, Richard, whether that was a good idea or not, bro. I really can't. I don't know enough about it. I get it that's that pre-IPO thing. You get the bonuses for it. Only time will tell, right? I realized all I had was XRP, so it makes sense to diversify. Well, there you go. Absolutely. For me, when it comes to taking digital assets and putting them into another digital asset, right? Right. So first of all, it has to be gains, right? And then the next thing that I'm looking to put it into, where is it at, right? So for me, on anything that's a pre-IPO, for me, pre-ICO is the fiat money, right? I don't care if it's even 100 or 200 bucks. For me, it's the fiat is the better risk than the digital asset. But Coco Crispy, I use the same strategy. Well, there you go. You're smart. Black Impact says, I'm invested in GSX as well. I believe in that project, but there you go. Crypto Roger bought more XP today to reach my goal last minute. I hear you, my friend. Good for you. Congrats, Crypto Roger. Willie Washington, good morning. Brandon Young, good morning to you, bro. Good to see you on the stream. I don't think I've seen that name in the channel before. Brandon, have you checked in him before? Hamed Ali. Check Anchorage. It just had its license as a crypto bank. Yep, we heard about that one. Good to see you, Hamed. Corey, one of a kind. Look at Vitho. Yeah, what's going on, Vitho? Is it up some numbers? Is Vitho up? I mean, obviously we all have some Vitho, right? What's going on, Vthor? Oh, 26% is up. Okay, man, 001. Oh, how about that? Isn't that interesting? Give that. That's cool. On the 7-day, it's 88% up. On the 14-day, it's up 109%. Well, how about that? You know, how about that? Got a little bit of that Vitho. On the 1 year, it's up 154%. Well, how about that? Interesting how that whole dynamics works with that token. It really, really is, right? It's really so hard to how do you look at it? So I just, I take it, we hold the V chain and we just take it because it's hard for me to really understand that tokenomics. For me, it's hard to understand the tokenomics behind that V chain and Vitho. Brandon Young, I don't know. It's very, very risky. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's from Apollo, backed by Apollo. I don't know enough about it to say if GSX is legit or not legit. I don't. I know DIY investing, he got some as well, but I don't know. If I was to do anything, I would do the same. Me personally, I would do the same thing as like I did with BidOwl, BID, bid, right? BidOwl, whatever it's called, right? Just a few, for me, small, few $100s, see what happens, right? But that was kind of based upon, finance and that kind of ecosystem. So that's kind of how I see it there. The U.S. D. Daniels, what's going on, bro? The USA Army is using Algo blockchain. It's a sleeper. No one talks about it. Very, very true. I like Algo. I want to up my position on that one for sure. Good to see you, bro. Billionaire Faith is in the building. What's up, bro? Rudy Erasmus says, got me some more XRP today. There you go. Good for you. Brandon said, loaded up my bag on XRP. Man, it's exciting. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you. Can you still buy and sell XRP on Uphold? Yes. Billionaire Faith, you sure can. Guys, over 90 people in the stream already. Do me a favor. It's only 29 likes. Can you do me a favor, please? Do the Crypto Seeds a favor and collapse the chat. Go smash that like. Let's let the YouTube algorithm know that the Crypto Seeds is live. And we want to get this channel out to more people in the space, more people that are not in this space yet. Bring them into the digital asset space and hopefully bring them into the greatest digital asset ever created so that we can remind them that the digital asset space is their shot. It's our shot to win. We got to let more people know. I see the likes going up, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys doing that. Rasheen B. Wealthy, what is good with you, bro? Good to see you. Siege, what's up with Brian Brooks? Fill me in, bro. I will definitely do that. I'm going to go over his tweets in a few seconds. Michael, good to see you this morning. Well, I think they all have a effect on the crypto. Crypto Roger. Does the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen have any effect on crypto? I think they all do. The SEC, FinCEN, right? The Department of Treasury. I think they all do. It's just who's going to have the ultimate effect on the digital asset space, right? Including the CFTC. Matthew Clark, what is good, my friend? Good to see you. FOMO XRP is in the building. How are you, bro? VeChain and Matic networks are sleepers. Black Impact, I agree 10,000%. Rudy says he's sharing the stream on Facebook. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Mr. Miller, what's good, bro? Where are you checking in from? Mr. Miller says, thanks. You're welcome. Brandon Young, you can get VeChain on Binance US, correct? You can. What's going on, Klaus? For you, yesterday I wanted to sell my 9,000 XRP because of you. I guess you didn't do that. Yo, bro, I like you going for XRP yesterday. I wanted to sell it, but you stopped me. Klaus, I hope that it works out well for you, my friend. I hope that it works out well for you, right? And ultimately for me, I just see the technology doesn't change. It would be different if other nations didn't publicly come out and make their public statements about XRP. That would be different, right? But if 95% of the trading is going on outside of the US and G7 nations, for me personally, this is my resolve, this is the conclusion that I came to. And if G7 nations are, publicly coming out and stating a thing, right? The people from the FSA in Japan, was the Financial Services Authority, and the UK's HM Treasury just kind of coming out and saying how they see XRP. To me, that says it doesn't matter what happens with the SEC. Short term, it doesn't matter. What matters is long term. And so for me, if I have to miss the bull run with XRP, this bull run, so be it. There'll be another bull run. But we're not in it yet because the Bitcoin dominance is still in the 60-something%. So we'll soon see. But also, this is the biggest thing that's happened in crypto is this lawsuit. It's the biggest thing. And probably the Tether thing will become the biggest. But right now, this lawsuit is the biggest thing. And yet XRP is where it is. Is comforting for me. Now, blockchain backer would kind of check the kind of what's all going on in the altcoin market, and he says, look, it should be two plus bucks, its value. So for me, that says, yeah, that price means it's currently severely undervalued, right? So it's kind of where we are with that. But I hope it works out for you, my friend. XRP Bags is in the building. What's up, crypto fan? What's good with you, bro? I love your work, man. Keep doing you, bro. Keep it up. Crawfish XRP, what's going on, bro? Josh is in the building. Atlanta, you told me that before, didn't you, Mr. Merrill? How are you, man? Good to see you. Hot Atlanta is in the building. Billionaire Faith for the World Economic Forum is Brian on board. That's all we need to set the rules. That's true. Billionaire Faith says the World Economic Forum has Brad on board, and that's all we need to set the rules. I hear you, my friend. It makes sense to me. Yeah, isn't it nice to be up on VeChain, man? I don't know. My VeChain is it's averaging right at 1 cent probably. I got a ton below one. I got a ton, always in that 1.6, 1.7 range. So it is nice to be up. Drew Ward likes Electronia. It's good with you, my friend. I hope it does. I hope it can do its thing. It's such a tough thing. This market is so into the new stuff and the new popularity, right? That it's challenging on the older stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works. I like what they're doing with the AnyTask. I do like that. Let's see if it catches on, if it gains steam, a lot of times it feels like Richard is a one-man show, but we'll see how it goes. German is like Greenman. Greenman Goodies is here. How are you, my friend? I can't tell you whether it's a scam or not. That's a risk you take, Greenman, with the pre-ICO stuff. Yeah, I know for me, my strategy changed up. I got out of the ICOs and I just waited for stuff to come to market. And started playing it that way. Drew Ward says that project has been around for years, not the greenest blockchain. Sorry, dude. Which one? Which one are you talking about? You talking about Electroneum? Because I agree, it has been around forever. Which one are you talking about? Oh, okay, Electroneum. Got some Electroneum before takeoff. The greenest blockchain ever and KYC compliant, has huge ties in the UK and the United Nations. Okay, so Billionaire Faith, you're a fan. Got it. Of Electroneum. Okay, so you're a fan of Electroneum. Got it. Yeah, I got it in the pre-ICO and, you know, we did well, right? I mean, it got up to 22 cents. We were in pre-ICO. We had tons of it. Um, but and kept a little, right? Kept a little. Yeah, but that was our first big cash out. I hate to say it for tax purposes, but that was our first big one, electronic. All right, so let's get into this tweet from that dude, as I like to call him, Brian Brooks. Let's get into that dude. No worries, Drew Ward. I say it. That's a good sign. They built on bear market. Yeah, great point. That's a great point, Billionaire Faith. They're building through the bear market. It's a great point. The project is right. It's doing stuff, and that's important. It's important to see, you know, and they can always pivot and change it and change their strategy up. And I believe that they may have to. Ozias Liam, okay, I'll answer this one question, then we'll get on to Brian Brooks' statements. Over 130 people in the stream. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's tell YouTube that we want to get this channel out to more of us, the average Joe and average Jane in this space. I'm telling you guys, it is important. Like Alice Mashinsky says, it's important to grow the amount of people in the digital asset space, not to continue, if you will, trading amongst ourselves. And hitting the like button is a way of increasing the exposure for people to get into space. What can you say as a new beginner slant investor to XRP in Coinbase? I'm not sure what you mean by that, my friend. Not sure what you mean by that. Right now, the trading, the buying and selling of XRP on Coinbase is done. I believe it's over. You can no longer do it. Places to do something with XRP is on Uphold, and I believe BitTrue and Kraken for a little while. Thank you, Luam and Anacleto. Here's your dislike. You are welcome. Thank you. Likes and dislikes are welcome, right? That's part of the YouTube algorithm, right? Billionaire Faith, people pay electric bill in Africa with it. Yes, they do. You're on that Electronum, huh? GDLT is in the building. What's good, bro? You like Electronum as well? I still got a little bit of that. K.A. Ewing. What's up, Siege? Good platform, brother. Thank you. Very informative. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's do this. Let's look into this thing from Brian Brooks, as I like to call him, that dude. Let's look into that. All right, share the screen here. Share screen. Let's go over here. Shout out to James Rule XRP for sharing that little interesting thing they're going on with Volante Technologies. We'll go over that as well. All right, let's see here. Let's go this. Raul Poole is doing this thing. Raul Powell. Here it is. Brian Brooks. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone who supported me and contributed ideas over the past. Let me see if I can do this. Here's where I think we are and where we're going. Parting shots, right? Parting remarks, if you will. First, my philosophy. The purpose of government is to set frameworks that allow each of us to safely pursue our own versions of happiness. Government should expand freedom and not constrain it. Banks and other corporations are supposed to respond to demand by providing those things people want and are willing to pay for. Indeed. Indeed. But sometimes institutions decide people's ideas or economic choices are wrong. And then they try to suppress those ideas. Agreed. Hence, decentralization. An open internet and an open financial system put power back in the hands of the actual people for whose benefit government and corporations are supposed to exist. Also, unbundling. Why is it that only banks and not fintechs or anyone else have access to the payment rails? Europe has figured this out. Why can't we? This is a guy with a bigger picture, right? And who was definitely on the side of the digital asset space and what it represents. What it represents to decentralization, the equal access, the level playing field, and a way for you and I to make a decision to opt out of the traditional monetary policies or systems with an alternative that we feel is best for us, right? And never, ever forget this quote, guys. I'm going to share this quote with you guys. I think it's just absolutely massive. And this is what Brian Brooks is speaking to, right? This came from Ross Stevens, the chairman of Stone Ridge, right? In an annual letter to his shareholders. In an annual letter to his shareholders, he said, each citizen now has a choice to stay on the fiat standard in which some people get to produce unlimited amounts of money for free, just not you. Or you have a choice to opt in to the Bitcoin standard, the decentralization standard, the open source standard, in which no one gets to do that, including you. It's a powerful, powerful statement. It really, really is. And I know he ultimately just said the Bitcoin standard, but it's something to really, really think about. I'm incredibly optimistic that our big, brawling, risk-taking, dynamic country will continue to lead and succeed, but not by protecting powerful incumbents. That's a powerful statement. That's a bold, bold statement. And ultimately, he understands, he gets it. He was in that space, right? He knows powerful incumbents, right? Citi, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. He gets it. By not protecting the powerful incumbents, success will come from disruptive ideas. And that, my friends, is why I hold XRP. Because it's a disruptor. The Ripple Net is a disruptor. ODL is a disruptor. XRP is a disruptor. Success will come from disruptive ideas that are scary today, but expected and even necessary tomorrow. Smart guy, really smart guy. Shout out to Brian Brooks. Crypto, question mark. Scary to some today, but necessary tomorrow. As M1 money supply goes to the moon. Smart guy, very, very smart guy. DeFi, he says, scary to some today, but necessary tomorrow. As some banks start telling you what you can and can't do with your own freaking money. Are you guys listening to this dude? Are you listening to what this dude is saying? Man, I hope he stays in this crypto, in the digital asset space somewhere. Man, I hope he does. He just totally gets it. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? That's powerful right there. Scared, DeFi is scary to some today, but necessary tomorrow as some banks start telling you what you can and can't do with your own money. Stable coins, scary to some today, but necessary tomorrow if we want the dollar to remain a competitive global medium of exchange. Non-depository banks, scary to some today, but necessary tomorrow if we want the economy to grow and consumers to be protected. Man, oh man, oh man. Be well, everyone, and don't be strangers. After a short sabbatical, I will be back in touch. Man, I just got to tell you, that dude, we called him the pit bull, right? Right? He gets a hold of something, he doesn't let it go, right? And this is the thing that this digital asset space needs. Someone who gets it, who has vision, who understands the bigger picture, who is about a level playing field, who is about all of us, and not, someone who is honest enough to say there's a huge disparity between the have and the have-nots, and that just can't work. Because who's willing to say that? Who's willing and upfront to say it? And this is what he's saying and all of that. Recognizing that there's huge disparity financially between the haves and the have-nots, and it has to change. And this is a way to change it. Stable coins, right? CBDCs, if you will, DeFi, crypto, decentralization, the Bitcoin standard, right? Which is basically saying there's another choice for you and your money. There's another choice for you and your money. There's a better monetary policy for you and your money. And no one can stop you from having it. And that's a powerful, powerful thing. Shout out to Brian Brooks. Gotta tell you, woo, that was some good stuff right there, was it not? Right? I mean, that was some powerful stuff right there, right? Right? That is some powerful, powerful stuff right there, right? So very, 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 very powerful stuff. Really, really got to think about that. Very, very powerful stuff. So that's kind of where I am with that, right? So, I mean, think about Brian Brooks, right? Think about Brian Brooks, right? It's massively, massively important, right? Massively, massively important, right? Parting remarks, and I just, man, good for him. This is the dude. This is the kind of stuff that we need in this space. Someone like that, visionary, wants us all to win, not just his boys, not part of some good old boy network or some nepotism crap, right? Who gets it? What's going on, Froggadelic Research Group? Good to see you. This dude, you're talking football, huh? Billionaire Fave, yeah. Now Brian Brooks will start to say what he really thinks. Yeah, absolutely, which is cool. I believe that after the XRP exchange, what's going on, Life Pillars? I believe that after the exchange XRP halts, only accredited investors will only be able to purchase XRP. You know what? I'm going to cover that too, Life Pillars, because that's an interesting thing, right? So the lawyer brought that up, right? GDLT, he won't take a sabbatical. He can't help but talk about crypto. Brian Brooks, that's correct. 30 days, right? I'm gonna talk about that, Life Pillars, because I do think it's interesting that he found it. I think with the Kick, something called Kick Interactive. I think it's interesting. I'll play it for you guys, you know, kind of tell you what you think. But this is the lawyer again saying he looked more into the SEC lawsuit with Ripple, and he came across the settlement, if you will, with Kick, and he read through it, and he kind of came to something. He found it interesting that the SEC did what they did in terms of the conclusion of that lawsuit. So Carlos Noto, what's good, bro? He does. He really does seem like a really down to earth guy. All right, so let's cover that. Let's go over that thing from that from that attorney. I have it because I watched it the other day. And then I'll show USAstrong.io. All right, because I think I watched this last night or the night before. This attorney is a funny dude. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of college basketball when there were people in the stands, which is crazy, but I did. That's what I did do. All right, let me see if I can get this.
With the SEC. Now, I kind of knew about this before. I just didn't know that the SEC would allow it even after it did investors. You just have to file something called a $5 million. Ouch. Of law, the KIN tokens sold during the ICO were securities. Now, in the second paragraph, you see the procedural. So let's start with the final judgment against Kick and take a look.
All right, you're going to listen to this. He's talking about the final judgment against Kick. We all know that the KIN token and people from Kick got, you know, the SEC lawsuit. We all know that the token, nothing happened, right? It actually went up, and, you know, whatever the conclusion, slant settlement or whatever, the token's still around, the company's still around, they're still doing their thing, right? So, but he found some stuff in the conclusion, judgment, settlement that he think is interesting when it comes to Ripple's lawsuit with the SEC.
Large amount of XRP held in escrow, a vital point. So let's start with the final judgment against Kick and take a look. This pleading is different than anything we've looked at before. This is a final judgment, meaning the case was litigated to a finish. This was not a settlement. Kick was sued by the SEC in 2019 for its ICO, and the allegations were that its sale of the KIN token was the sale of an unregistered security. Now, in the second paragraph, you see the procedural stance of the case. The court granted, quote, summary judgment for the SEC. Now, summary judgment means that the case was a complete slam dunk for the SEC. It means there was no issue of fact to even be looked at by the trial judge. It didn't even make it to the trial. I mean, the judge just looked at everything in the court file and made a determination that as a matter of law, the KIN tokens sold during the ICO were securities.
Didn't even make it to the trial, okay? Didn't even make it to the trial.
And why is that important? Because in litigation, the winner drafts the final judgment, always. So I know that this final judgment was written by the SEC, and that's a little bit different than everything that's come before. So let's take a look at what it says. Now, skipping down to paragraph 3, it penalizes Kick $5 million. Ouch, but Kick paid it, apparently. And actually, after this final judgment was entered, the KIN coin price actually spiked. I think it more than doubled, but that's not my focus today. That's for other people. Now, here's what caught my eye instead. Let's take a look at Roman numeral 2. It says that with respect to the tokens already issued and any new issuances of the tokens, the defendant must provide notice to the SEC 45 days before any sales. It doesn't say that Kick cannot sell the coins, just that it must give notice to the SEC. Now, I thought that was very interesting, so I went back up to section 1, and there I saw that the defendant was being enjoined from violating security laws in the absence of an exemption. Now, remember, the SEC could have drafted this any way they wanted, and they decided to allow for sale under exemptions. Interesting. So I went down that road a little further, and here's what I found. Now, going to the SEC website, I found the SEC Rule 501 Regulation D, and let's just take a quick look at that. This regulation allows for sale of unregistered securities to, quote, accredited investors. You just have to file something called a Form D with the SEC, and it's just something saying what is being sold and to whom, and then you can sell securities as long as they are to accredited investors. And here are what accredited investors are by definition. Basically, what you're seeing is that the SEC is supposed to protect the small investor where there is a large imbalance of power between the seller of securities and the buyer. However, if the buyer is a sophisticated investor or a company, they are considered an accredited investor, and you can sell securities to them by simply filing a Form D with the SEC. Now, I kind of knew about this before. I just didn't know that the SEC would allow it even after a successful litigation, like in the kick.
I'm gonna listen to this again about the company, right? Accredited investor and company. If the buyer is an accredited investor and company, what does company mean? What does that mean? Company is an LLC, a company, limited liability company. Let's listen to that again.
Filing a Form D with the SEC. Now, I kind of knew about this before. I just didn't know that the SEC would allow it even after a successful litigation, like in the Kick Interactive case. So, allow me to take off my lawyer hat for a minute and do some now semi-educated speculation. My last video ended with a question as to what would happen to the XRP and escrow if Ripple was not allowed to sell it. Now, some people said that the price would go up. I think that some of the more sophisticated responses were that the coin sales were needed in order for Ripple to continue its work on XRP coin usage cases and to finance operations, and that without the sales of XRP, even if the price spiked initially, it was not going to be beneficial for XRP prices in the long term because of the disastrous effects on Ripple. But now we have a new twist on this, because in the case where the SEC actually wrote the judgment against the company, its desired effect was to allow sales of the coins to other companies and large investors.
The SEC. So remember, what he's saying is, when the winner gets to write the final thing, right? The winner gets to write it. So the SEC won, they got to write it. He finds it very interesting that the SEC would allow the company to continue to sell. The SEC allowed the company to continue to sell. The caveat is to companies or accredited investors. What would that look like for Ripple? To Ripple, not to Bitstamp, not to Uphold, not to Coinbase. To Ripple, to me, it's the same thing. Because Ripple doesn't sell to you and I. Again, that's to me. I could be wrong. But to me, it feels like the same thing that Ripple is doing currently. They don't sell to me and you. And then you remember in the lawsuit, the SEC is alleging that Ripple is selling to the likes of exchanges, knowing that the exchanges are going to sell to you and I. So that's Ripple selling to you and I. Again, that's what the SEC alleges. Doesn't make it factual, doesn't mean that makes, just because the SEC alleges it, that makes sense to a judge or a jury, right? You see what I'm saying? So the fact that he says that and he found that the SEC allowed that to happen, to me, that's what Ripple has been doing. To me, right? OTC, over the counter sales, right? They've even slowed those down. To me, that's what they've all, market makers, whatever, I don't know. That's a, market makers of companies. It's not some dude with a computer, right? Right? The market maker is not some guy in a basement, right? It's right? It's some form of a company. So for me, it feels like that's what they've already been doing. And the fact that the SEC wrote this and allowed that is, for me, it's saying, yeah. This you did an ICO, and so you knew that you were going to be selling to the average Joe and the average Jane. You just didn't know that your thing was a security, but your business at Kick was to do an ICO, which you didn't say. No one there was no accredited investor in that, right? The dude in the basement could go buy some of those tokens in the ICO, right? And so the SEC is like, nah, we're not cool with that, right? So that caveat, continue your business, but not to the average Joe and Jane, right? Accredited investors and companies, right? Moving forward. The SEC did that. The SEC could have said anything they want because they get to write it. If they win, they get to write it. Whoever wins get to write it. They didn't stop them from selling. They didn't stop them from continuing to do business. I think it's an interesting point. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Only not to the regular old Joe Smith on the street. Now, this solution, as applied in the SEC v. Ripple litigation, would allow the sale of XRP, but at a slower rate than previously planned by the escrow. Now, this solution would allow Ripple to continue its operations while still decreasing supply and thus increasing demand and probably the price. And that price action was exactly what we saw in the Kick Interactive litigation at the end after the final judgment was entered. The price went up drastically and stayed up as Kick sustained its business operation.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Interesting stuff, right? Mr. C's, namaste from India. Namaste. How are you, my friend? Good to see you, PG. Cindy Lou is in the building. How are you, miss? Ripple was set up. Yeah. Yeah, so that is I bought Charlie's bags. Just buy the dip. Right? So that, what do you guys think about that? What's going on, Lady? XRP bags and Lady E are in the building. Good to see you, miss. Another lady of crypto is in the building. Appreciate you being here. Guys, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? I think that's very, very interesting. Because I don't think I think that's exactly what Ripple has been doing. I really do. Sky Bull Houston is in the building. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. What's going on? I bought Charlie's bag. Oh, is it 10.5 hours from now? Okay, so it's 10.5 hours from now. I bought Charlie's bag. Says 10.5 hours to Coinbase XRP buy, sell, shut down. Oh, okay. Cool. I got some at 29 cents yesterday. Mateo Blue Ridge, how are you, my friend? Good to see you in the stream this afternoon. Smoke and mirrors, yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, I would think, Florian, that it says company, not accredited investor, right? So Coinbase is company, Binance, company, exchanges, companies, right? So they'll be able to buy and sell, right? So, I mean, I think that is an interesting thing. What's the last part? Him buying XRP, play Dirty Daddy? Is that what you're talking about? I just bought some more XRP. Well, it all depends, Crypto Roger, by Crypto Seas. What does it mean not for retail investors? What happens to the retail investor? Well, it all depends on me. It all depends on what you mean by what happens, right? What happens, right? So for me, if Ripple wasn't allowed to do it, does that mean the exchanges aren't allowed to do it? And if it does mean that, if it means only to accredited investors for the exchange as well, right? Then the average retail investor can't get any more XRP if that's the case, if it is what that means. And I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. Yes, LOL. Yeah, so that lawyer did end up buying some XRP. Like, I don't know what, it seems like he bought it 10 cents worth or so. I don't even know how much he bought, but ended up buying some XRP there, given what he just discovered in the Kick Interactive thing, which I thought was interesting. My guess is he's probably going to buy more offline and not online. So interesting stuff there. So that's kind of the deal. It's going to be interesting to see if they do something like that, and exclude the retail investor going forward. Ripple's going to be like, we haven't changed anything, because Ripple, right? I don't think the summary judgment will be. I don't think there'll be a summary judgment. In other words, a slam dunk for the SEC, I think is just massively unlikely. I think it is more likely to be a summary judgment for Ripple than it is for the SEC. But I think it's going to be fairly halfway in the middle. I think the SEC, personally, I think the SEC is going to get their 2000 to 2015 thing. But I think going forward from 2015 forward, they're going to say not the case, and it's clear that what they've been looking to do since then. But ultimately, the judgment, I think, is going to go to Ripple. Personally, this is what I believe personally, and then Ripple will get the right, the same way that the SEC got the final thing, because they had won against Kick. So it'll be interesting to see what Ripple's going to do, and what they're going to write. Surely it's going to be some kind of clarification in terms of designation that it's not a security. So this is interesting to learn and to see how it's going to go, right? It's going to be interesting to see. Again, Ripple wins. I don't think it's going to exclude the retail, but it might be that they agree to it. That might be something that they agree to no longer do the retail investor. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to offload what you have. I just think that means that you're not going to be able to buy any longer. So that's what I think. So, the exchanges, I just don't know how an exchange is going to now change to only accredited investors on the exchange in terms of the purchase of XRP. I don't know how that would work. Nicholas M is here. How are you, my friend? Guys, do me a favor. Oh, nice. Over 100 likes and 140 people on the stream. I appreciate that, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to smash that like button. I really, really do. So, what did I want to say? Dennis Simenko? Look at the G20. Ripple is there. Yeah, I saw that, my friend. Yeah, Ripple and sell at the G20, of course. Nicholas M. Will SEC want to make Ripple wealthier than a country? No. But if something comes into place where they can slow down, I think the escrow is personally, there's a part of me that says that goes to a foundation, that someone else gets to manage that. because the owners already have their billions, the employees already have their millions, right? And I think the escrow, you know, to a foundation like the XRPL Foundation, or maybe even PolySign, is reasonable and is feasible. And I also think that as long as Ripple can continue to operate in business somehow, is reasonable. Also, it's feasible to see happen as well. So Andrew Parker says, Nicholas M, cheers to you, my friend. Andrew Parker, so do you think we will end up the same as Ken, and Ripple will have to inform the SEC when they sell the escrow? As Ripple has said all along, we are not their target market. It all depends. It all depends on who wins. I think it's a worst case scenario for Ripple that they would just have to inform the SEC when they sell something, right? Okay, that's, you know, a lot of companies today, you know, they do the exemptions ahead of time. Celsius did their exemptions ahead of time, right? They got that exemption thing ahead of time, just in case the SEC decide to come after them. So I don't think that's I don't think that's what's that word? You know, would lead to some type of demise for Ripple. I don't think that's a stain, if you will, just because you have to let them know when you're selling. Right, report it, the fact that you're doing it. Right, Crawfish XRP never purchased XRP from Ripple, purchased it at an exchange, exactly. And this is what I'm saying, Crawfish, is that the attorney in the video that we're watching saying this is what Kick had to end up doing. SEC won, so the SEC wrote the final thing of what had to happen. And one of the final things that happened is Kick still got to continue to sell, continue to stay in business, but they could only move their tokens to accredited investors or companies. And when that happened, and when that came out, the price of the Ken token doubled. It doubled. Because for me, I think that's what Ripple is already doing. I think personally that's Ripple is already, right, dealing with OTCs and institutions and market makers and banks, right? I don't think Ripple is not selling to you and I. They've always, in my opinion, been dealing with companies and accredited investors, if you will. I believe that's what they've been doing. I think it's interesting that the SEC alleges that since Ripple was selling to exchanges, if you will, and market makers, that they knew that those exchanges were going to sell to you and I, and so they're in some type of violation of selling securities, right? Unregistered securities. Again, that's an allegation. It makes zero sense because Ripple has no control over what an accredited investor does with the XRP. They have no control over what an exchange does with the XRP. So I agree with you, Play Dirty. I think Jay Clayton did a last-ditch effort to keep the old guard, Swift, operating as long as possible. I agree. And I think it even goes deeper than that. I think it is about the incumbents, like Brian Brooks spoke about and tweeted about in his tweet here recently, about the old incumbents. That's what I think it's about ultimately, which is essentially Swift, right? King David said, I sold 10 of my Ethereum in exchange for buying more XRP. Well, how about that? You did a Jungle Inc. move, huh? Jungle Inc. You sold 10 of them. That's quite a bit of change right there, my friend. Yes, Ethereum is at its all-time high. It surely is at its all-time high right now, isn't it? Which is really cool. Crypto Roger said did the same thing. Man, you guys all doing the Jungle Inc. move, huh? Alex Peters says, good to see you, Alex. Appreciate you being here. XRP also has multiple use cases like coil, hooks, and more. So the SEC can't claim a security at this point. Also, this was already settled by FinCEN. Indeed, it was years ago. Yeah, absolutely. Beat say win. We love XRPL Labs. Yeah, I bought Charlie's bags. Isn't that interesting? There is no doubt that there are some very interested parties who want to get their grubby hands on that extra. Oh, without question. They know the value. They know. Once they discover that the price of XRP has to be high in order to work, and once they realize that the Ripple net was not contracting, the Ripple net was expanding. Once they realized that the partnerships was expanding, that central banks, you don't think they know about central banks wanting to build the CBDC off the ledger? Once they got it, it was all about that escrow, trying to figure out how they can get their hands on that escrow. Without question. It is, Alex Peter. You're exactly right. The people from Flag community have pointed that out. Alex Peter says, problem with ETH is that high price is counterproductive to its use case. Indeed, it really is. I'll take the gains. I'll take the gains for sure. It's really very interesting to see what's going to happen, but I'll take the gains for sure. But ultimately, I do think that's going to be the move. Escrow going to pass to the central bank. Interesting. To the central bank. Wow, that would be heavy right there. Denise Semenko. Is that Denny's or Denise? Dang, that's a whole lot of ETH, says Ryan James. It is. William Leather's in the building. How are you, my friend? I will sell some XRP at $1,200 per, not less. This new global reset that is coming might just do it. Indeed, it will. Indeed, it will. All right. So what else did I wanted to share with you guys? Let me share this here from USA Strong. What else did I want to share? Jungle Inc.'s move, again, epic. All right. Let me play the rest of this.
Now, listen, I understand that this is just one possibility out of 10, but the fact that the SEC's desired outcome leads to what I speculate would be a boon, not specifically maybe to Ripple, but to the holders of XRP. I see a setup for a win-win situation for XRP holders at the end of this litigation. And to end on a personal note, as I mentioned before, I had only owned Ethereum because I really was only very interested in smart contracts, and I really only took the time to understand Ethereum. But the last 2 weeks, I've learned more and more about XRP and prepping for these vlogs. I think I've done my due diligence now, and I understand what it makes possible, and it's very exciting, game-changing. And when I finished looking at all these things, I went over today with you, well, I decided to jump into ownership of another crypto. Have a great day.
Yeah, see that right there, I don't know. What does that mean? Yeah. Anyway, I mean, we don't know if he got one XRP or two or none. It's all right. Let me share this with you guys.
This is the article that my wife was talking about. Aussie just published this. Can blockchain save? Made in the USA. And it's about our efforts to convince Americans to buy local, and support locally made stuff. And we use the blockchain to verify that it's actually made over here. Well, as long as like if you can have every manufacturer report every one of their components. I bought this, like I'm making t-shirts. I bought the yarn from this factory. I bought the paint from this factory. And then I created a t-shirt, I printed stuff, and then I shipped it and so on. then you can verify. Each one of them can sign on the blockchain and verify it, because the guy who made the yarn can say, yeah, I shipped 10,000 shirts to this person, and basically collecting all the data in an immutable way on the blockchain allows the buyer, the person actually buying the shirt, like this shirt made in the United States, we can verify that it was made in California, it was printed in Texas, it was shipped to New Jersey, the warehouse in New Jersey received it from those verified sources. So when we ship this to the customer, right, this is usastrong.io, right? When we ship this to the customer, we can tell them with 100% certainty that this was made in the US.
So that's pretty cool. That's him and his wife there. That's Alice Mashinsky, CEO and founder of the Celsius network right there. Interesting couple for sure, but she's the founder of, they're co-founders of usastrong.io. Again, a way to support US companies. What else did I want to share with you guys? So James Rule shared this, and I think this is interesting. Shout out to James Rule. Keep doing your thing, brother. You're doing an awesome job. Citi extends partnership with Volante for ISO 20022 migration. Citi. So Volante is a big time Ripple partner, in case you don't know. Let me go over this article with you guys. Play Dirty says, Crypto Seas, think that price he bought was the BTC wallet price. Gotcha. No, Aida, he's talking about, in some way, yeah, that is what VeChain does. But what he was talking about was, he may be talking about hooking up with VeChain. But what they're really doing is really promoting, because you don't know what blockchain he's talking about. What he's really talking about is promoting USA Strong in this USA stuff. And then he's adding, can the blockchain, right, get this verifiable that it is in fact made in the US of A. But he was really promoting that site that he and his wife created, him and Chrissy created, which is usastrong.io. So where's this at? Here. So IBS Intelligence, Citi expands partnership with Volante, who is a Ripple partner. Okay. Volante Technologies, a global provider of payments and financial messaging solutions in the cloud, and Citi Treasury and Trade Solutions, CITI, has announced deepening their long-standing relationship to accelerate the bank's adoption of the ISO 20022 financial messaging standard across its global payments operations. And understand that Ripple is the only blockchain technology that is part of the ISO 2022 standards body. Ripple, the only blockchain company part of that. Right. So the shift to ISO is gathering steam, and major payment market infrastructures, instant payment rails, and SWIFT cross-border payments are making the move. Under the partnership, Citi will be the first Volante customer to offer a unified approach to ISO 2022 migration across the globe. Citi will be building its core ISO capability using Volante's VolPay for ISO 2022 migration solutions. So that is some really, really good news there. Really good to see that. Let me see, do I have that? I do. So let's do this. Go back here. What else did I want to share with you guys? Raoul Pal, isn't this interesting? So it looks like Galaxy Digital is doing a tokenization of the company. This is fascinating, says Raoul Pal of Real Vision. If you guys are not a part of Real Vision Crypto, I strongly recommend you find a way to become a part of Real Vision Crypto. I think it's $1. This is fascinating. A digital asset company trading as a token. A digital asset company trading as a token. My view is that a variation of this is where the world is going in the next 10 years as everything gets tokenized. It says right here, FTX, which is ftx.com, then it's an ftx.us, different listing of assets on the S. on the US versus this .com. FTX has listed Galaxy, slant USD, Galaxy Digital Holdings from Mike Novogratz. He tokenized the company. Isn't that interesting? This dude here, let me move this out the way. Shout out to James Rule. This dude here apparently has done this. This is the CEO and founder of Galaxy Digital. Founder and CEO, Mike Novogratz. Interesting stuff. Here he's talking a little bit about Gary Gensler and what he thinks Gary Gensler means for crypto. So let's do that.
And will he serve as a wet rag to the crypto industry?
No, not at all. Listen, I think Gary Gensler, first of all, I worked with Gary at Goldman Sachs in Hong Kong way back in the 90s. He is wildly smart. He's taught a class at MIT on blockchain and Bitcoin. And so he understands the space. He likes the space. He understands the nuance around the space. Listen, Gary he was a tough commissioner at the CFTC. He is really bright. And so there's no like pulling the wool over his eyes. I think he's already commented that both Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities, which is, already law at the SEC. I think if you're Ripple XRP, it's not great news because he's commented he thought they were issued like securities. And so, there'll be some nuance around the different coins, but I think he will be pro-crypto. The last Jay Clayton didn't want to make crypto his issue. And so kind of punted on all the issues for the most part.
Yeah, and why didn't he didn't want to make crypto his issue. Why do you think that is? In any case, so that's what he thinks about Gary Gensler. Again, it makes no sense. It doesn't matter at all what Gary Gensler thinks about XRP now, really, because this is in litigation. This is in the hands of the courts now, right? It's not like it's going to be in the hands of the courts and then back in the hands of the SEC. The only way that would happen is if they just totally dismissed this case or withdrew the case, right? So I don't think it really matters much about XRP in terms of Gary Gensler. I think what he said in 2018 obviously doesn't apply to what's going on today. It's right. The reasoning is completely different. The model is totally different from what it was even in 2018. So, but having a guy who's pro crypto, I think is important. Again, I said this before. I think if anything, he's going to take really heed the words of Hester Peirce when it comes to digital assets and kind of give them this sandbox where these companies who may not be certain as to whether they're dealing in securities or not have a place to operate, do business with the oversight in the sandbox from the SEC, and then they can kind of get the word, right? She said enforcement, regulation by enforcement is not a great thing. She also said that the SEC had not put crypto as their top priorities. Alex Peters, you're correct. Gensler said that in 2018 and also proceeded to say if the use cases change. Exactly. And that's what Ripple has been doing. They've been adding more and more use cases. I'm sure today he's going to be asked sometime here in the next 30, 45 days. He's going to be somewhere asking. He's going to get asked somewhere speaking. He's going to get asked this, and hopefully he knows more about where they're going. He is very familiar with Algorand. I can tell you that, which is interesting. Jay Sober says the escrow is everything. I agree. Crypto delivery, that just made me laugh. What did crypto delivery say? A Bojangles box. Oh yeah. He's like a major investor into the company Bojangles crypto delivery. Yep. He's a big time major investor into Bojangles, which is interesting to me. But yeah, he is talking about Mike Novogratz. Oh, if the use case is changed, then it's not. That's what Alex Gensler said. So Gensler said that in 2018, he also proceeded to say if the use case is changed, then it's not a security about XRP. So I think we're good. I know, I'm hungry now too. Yeah, he's definitely not a fan. And I don't think it's that I don't know if he's not a fan of XRP. I think that he knows in terms of his investments are highly in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and a very, very insignificant part in XRP. Very insignificant part. And I think he knows that. But I think he also knows that in a matter of time, Ripple is going to become bigger than Galaxy Digital, without question, right? And it's going to become a big time thing, and he knows it. And so, you know, he might not be a fan. Maybe he believes that, like a lot of people who own a bunch of BTC, that Ripple was helping the banks, right? And I agree with that. I disagree with that 10,000%, because the banks that have caused the harm to you and I is the top 6, 8, 10 banks. It's not the other 9,990 banks. They have to pay to play in a system. You're welcome, Michael. So he does have Bojangles on standby. LOL. Yeah, exactly. If all else fails, he's got some skin in the game at Bojangles, which I think is interesting. Bojangles, out of all, you got all this money, you went Bojangles. Interesting stuff. So what else did I want to share with you guys? This is going to be the last thing, but I do think it's important to kind of get a good feel again for where Gary Gensler is and what he's doing. And from someone who knows, and I think that's important. Here's something that I think is not going to die, and I think it's important. Former SEC commissioner who said to Jay, I believe it was in a letter, Ripple lawsuit will cause a multi-billion-dollar losses to innocent third parties. This was Professor Joseph A. Grunfest, says Bitcoin is at its core a security. But yeah, I remember when that letter came out, he did let the people at the SEC know that was going to cause harm to innocent investors. And don't trust me when I say that the Ripple team is aware of said letter, right? Make no mistake about it. They are aware of that letter, right? Let's see here. All right, guys. So listen, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for hanging out today. It's been a cool hang for sure. Appreciate you guys hanging in. Crypto Hippo is in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. Jackie 33 is here. Hey, miss, how are you? Hope everyone is doing well. We are. IT Trader, what's going on, my friend? XRP, $100, Brazil. I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. Guys, thank you so much for checking in. Stefan, thanks for being here. Rudy, Crypto Delivery, Michael Cummings, appreciate you being here. Play Dirty, thanks for hanging out today, my friend. Jay Sober and Alex Peters, we appreciate you being here, guys. Thanks so much for taking the time to smash that like button. Over 122 likes and 129 people in the stream. Definitely appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. Kevin Cade, Aida, thanks for being here. Miss Coco Crypto, thanks for checking in, Miss, as well. I bought Charlie's bags. Appreciate you being here. Ryan James, appreciate you, brother. I don't know if that's Denise or Denise. Appreciate you being here. Mr. Connector, how about that? Thanks for checking in today. All right, guys, listen, never ever forget this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it, guys. Go get it. And speaking of going to get it, Old money doesn't want you to win. T-shirts is available. Old money doesn't want you to win. Let me know if you guys want to snatch some of those up. I can show you how to get that. And also, guys, don't forget, this is most important. Learn to lose weight in a healthy way. So excited about this platform and what we're able to do and put together. It has been absolutely a game changer. I say this is the 21st century. Just pop it in your favorite libation, right? And go about your day, right? Massive extra next level collagen, next level prebiotics, next level happy banana, next level fat browning process, next level fat browning process, which is turning white fat to brown fat, and brown fat burns off. It's a really, really cool deal. All right, guys, listen, thank you again so much for hanging out. We appreciate you guys being here. There will be a link in the description for this Lose Weight Healthy and the Crypto Seizures shirts, Old Money Doesn't Want You to Win. They will be out. There'll be a link in the description for that as well, guys. All right, thank you so much for hanging out. Have a great day. Hodl strong, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.